letting go of thoughts and letting go in general, but at the same time having the ability to manifest. How does that work? It's very simple. Bashar had a very nice phrase which said, follow your highest excitement. I translated it for me to follow your highest joy, but then I realized there is a way that is similar to what the spiritual teachers say, but I found a better way for me. And one way is to completely let go, become aware of awareness, which is essentially like Mooji or Eckhart Tolle, the realization of the self. So that is one thing. But then in silence, I received more downloads over time. And one of the other downloads was that you can manifest through the sacral chakra, through joy and sexuality. That's your sacral chakra. And the only thing that you have to do is make choices, make clear choices in every moment in time that increase your joy or your sexuality or probability for joy and sexuality. I could give you millions of examples. Let's give a couple of examples to make that practical. If I make a video, okay, what does the video give me? It gives me a higher probability of joy and a high probability of sexuality, meaning that it's possible that somebody gets in touch with me that resonates similarly like me and is like, hey, let's do this together. Or a woman contacts me and is like, hey, I want a tantra massage. So a lot of different possibilities exist when you become, for example, a content creator, because you're putting yourself out there and the probability is increased. My two best friends that I have, I met over YouTube. So without having done YouTube, I would have not met my friends, which give me tremendous amounts of joy. So basically, the problem with a lot of spirituals is they live, and I think it's called ascetic life. They like renounce everything and be like, okay, I'm just still. But most of the time, they're not really just still. They're not living the life of a Buddhist monk. They're just renouncing a lot of things, hoping to advance spiritually. Which, if you're in pure vipassana, does really have its effects. You definitely let go of traumas, you let go of karma. So definitely it has a lot of positive effects. But it has also some negative effects because you're really not taking care of things. And the thing about taking care of things is that some spiritual teachers say, well, everything takes care of itself. That is not really true. It is only true if you're living in a modern society that is able to take care of things. Somebody has to take out the garbage. Somebody has to clean up the place. Somebody has to put the seeds in the ground. Somebody has to fix the roof. So it depends where you live and how you live. For some individuals this might work. For others, it gets them into deep financial trouble. For some people, it might give them, just letting go gives them high probability of sexuality or procreation. For others, it might not do anything because they're not attractive and they don't have people around them. So now I'm using, of course, the logical mind to explain this, but I realized in my life and in the life of a friend who is also very spiritual, we recognize that this is mostly the case. If you just abide in the nothingness, nothing happens. I mean, Eckhart Tolle would say something always happens. That is true. But I always say it's a little bit like, imagine you have a fruit garden and lots of trees of fruits in your garden. And they're blooming, and the fruits they're bearing fruits, and you're like, okay, I would love to have a mango, okay? And then you have a mango in your garden, and you're just like, nah, I'm not gonna pick it. It's a little bit like this. So what I'm saying is that if there are fruits in the garden and you want to pick them, just pick them. Do these fruits grow by themselves? Depend where you live. If you live in Antarctica, no. So basically what I'm saying is learn to rest and abide in self-awareness and in the true self, yes. But also allow yourself to not suppress your sacral chakra, your libido, your joy and sexuality. And by opening yourself up to the possibility of more sexuality and more joy, you're actually kind of like planting the trees in the garden. And the decisions are super simple. Every choice you make, ask yourself, does it give me more probability for joy or more probability for sexuality? It doesn't mean that you live everything. It means that you open your sacral chakra just alone by making that decision. So, and by doing that, you also stop to toxic metaframe others, because there's something super important. I noticed a lot of spiritual people, almost everyone that is saying they're spiritual, they toxic metaframe others. Well, your ego is so strong, you have to let go of your ego. And these are actually toxic metaframes. They come from a suppressed libido, and they come because these spirituals are not truly happy within themselves. And if you're not truly happy within yourself, you got to really question your way of spiritual growth. And toxic metaframing is a very subtle form of showing, sometimes very overt form of showing that you're not truly happy, and that is then of course not spiritual. So learn to live both, and it also is congruent with not only the yoga system but also that Taitian, the TCM system, because your strongest energy centers are literally the sacral chakra and the heart chakra. And the heart chakra becomes open and aware if you just rest in awareness, and the sacral chakra opens if you make decisions in that direction. And yeah, so I wanted to share these two things with you, to show you that you can manifest in a very loving way without much effort, just making the right choices to open your sacral chakra, and then things start to flow.